Time travel. Exposed. Why you can't change your past, and physics doesn't care about your regrets. Hey there, truth seekers. Welcome back to Debunk Factory, where we take your favorite sci-fi fantasies and crush them with cold, hard science. Today we're tackling Hollywood's most beloved lie. Time travel. Oh yes, the dream of going back to delete that cringe-worthy text you sent your ex, or jumping forward to see if you should invest in Bitcoin or Beanie Babies. Who wouldn't want that power, right? But here's the thing. Folks, physics doesn't give a damn about your regrets or your curiosity about tomorrow's lottery numbers. Today I'm going to scientifically demolish the time travel myth so thoroughly that you'll never watch Back to the Future the same way again. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why Einstein is probably rolling in his grave every time someone says flux capacitor. So buckle up, because we're about to take a one-way trip to reality town. Before we destroy your time travel dreams, let's talk about what time actually is. And no, it's not just that thing that makes you late for work every morning. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, you know, that guy who was slightly smarter than your average TikTok physicist. Time isn't some cosmic clock ticking in the background. Time is literally woven into the fabric of space itself. We call it space-time because scientists love making simple things sound complicated. Here's the mind bender. Time moves differently, depending on how fast you're going and how strong the gravitational field around you is. GPS satellites have to account for this. They experience time slightly faster than we do on Earth, about 38 microseconds per day faster to be exact. Without correcting for this time difference, your GPS would be off by about 6 miles every single day. So yes, time dilation is real. Your phone proves it. But does that mean you can hop in a DeLorean and visit dinosaurs? Hell no. And here's why. The grandfather paradox. Let's start with the most famous time travel brain breaker. The grandfather paradox. Picture this. You build a time machine, go back to 1955 and accidentally prevent your grandparents from meeting. Oops, now you were never born. But if you were never born, who went back in time to mess things up in the first place? It's like asking, can God create a stone so heavy that even he can't lift it? Except stupider, because at least God doesn't violate causality. Some people try to solve this with the many worlds theory, basically saying every time you change something, you create a parallel universe. So you don't kill your grandfather in your timeline, you create a new timeline where some other version of your grandfather dies. Congratulations, you're now a dimensional murderer. That's not solving the paradox, that's just adding murder to your time travel resume. But here's the real kicker. Physicist Stephen Hawking proposed the chronology protection conjecture. Basically, the universe has built-in safeguards that prevent time travel paradoxes. The laws of physics literally conspire to stop you from messing with causality. It's like the universe is saying, nice try, buddy, but I'm not letting you break logic itself. The energy problem. Okay, let's pretend for a moment that paradoxes aren't a problem. Let's talk about the sheer energy requirements for time travel. Hold on to your calculators because this is where things get hilariously impossible. According to theoretical physicist Kip Thorne, the guy who helped make the movie Interstellar scientifically accurate, to create a traversable wormhole for time travel, you'd need what's called exotic matter with negative energy density. How much negative energy? Oh, just about the mass energy equivalent of Jupiter. That's right. You'd need to harness the energy of an entire giant planet just to maybe, possibly, create a tiny time tunnel that would probably collapse before you could say, flux capacitor. Let's put this in perspective. The entire electrical output of human civilization is about 25,000 terawatt-hours per year. The mass energy of Jupiter, about 1.7 times 10 to the 42nd power joules. That's roughly 47 trillion times more energy than humanity produces in a year. So basically, you'd need to harvest the energy of Jupiter, master technologies that might not even be theoretically possible, all to create a machine that would probably kill you instantly. It's like trying to build a ladder to the moon out of toothpicks. Thermodynamics says, nope. But wait, there's more. Even if you somehow solve the energy problem and the paradox problem, you'd still have to deal with the laws of thermodynamics. And they are absolutely ruthless. The second law of thermodynamics states that entropy, basically disorder, always increases over time. It's why ice melts, why your room gets messy, and why you can't unscramble an egg no matter how hard you try. If you could reverse time, you'd be decreasing entropy, which violates one of the most fundamental laws of physics. It's like trying to make water flow uphill or convincing your cat to obey commands. Theoretically amusing, practically impossible. Physicist Sean Carroll explains it perfectly. The reason we remember the past and not the future is because entropy was lower in the past. Our entire perception of time's arrow comes from entropy increase. So even if you built a time machine, stepped inside, and somehow managed to go backwards, you'd be swimming upstream against the fundamental flow of the universe itself. Every atom in your body would be screaming, "This is wrong," as reality itself tries to correct your temporal rebellion. It's like trying to sneeze with your eyes open while simultaneously licking your own elbow. Nature just won't let it happen. Quantum mechanics crashes the party. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse for time travel enthusiasts, quantum mechanics shows up to completely ruin the party. At the quantum level, particles don't have definite positions or velocities until you observe them. They exist in what's called superposition, basically being in multiple states at once. Schrodinger's cat and all that jazz. Now, if you traveled back in time, you'd be carrying quantum information from the future into the past. This creates what physicists call closed time-like curves. Basically, information would be flowing in circles through time. Here's where it gets really fun. Quantum mechanics has something called the no-cloning theorem. You cannot create an exact copy of an unknown quantum state. But time travel would require your quantum information to exist in multiple places at once. Past you and future you. The universe would literally have to break its own rules about information conservation to allow time travel. It's like asking reality to divide by zero. It just doesn't compute. Physicist David Deutsch tried to solve this with quantum computation theory, but even his solutions require the universe to be infinitely large and infinitely complex. At that point, you're not solving time travel. You're just making the problem infinitely more complicated. The relativity reality check. Let's talk about what Einstein's relativity actually allows. Because there is some real time weirdness in physics. It's just not what Hollywood thinks it is. Time dilation is absolutely real. If you traveled at 99.99% the speed of light for what feels like 1 year to you, about 70 years would pass on Earth. You'd effectively travel to the future. But here's the catch. It's a one-way ticket. You can slow down your personal time relative to everyone else, but you can never speed it back up. And traveling backwards? Nope. Even if you could somehow exceed the speed of light, which is impossible because you'd need infinite energy, you still wouldn't travel backwards. In time, you just break causality in increasingly weird ways. Sorry folks, but Einstein's equations are crystal clear. The speed of light is the universal speed limit, and time only flows in one direction. You can slow down your journey through time, but you can never reverse it. It's like being on the world's most boring escalator. You can walk slower or faster, but you're always going up, never down. Embrace the present. So there you have it. Time travel dreamers, the universe has conspired against your temporal fantasies in every way possible. Paradoxes would break logic itself. Energy requirements are literally astronomical. Thermodynamics says entropy only increases quantum mechanics, forbids information loops, and relativity only allows one-way trips to the future. But here's the thing. Maybe it's good that we can't change the past. Imagine how much more awkward your life would be if you could constantly go back and fix things. You'd be stuck in an eternal loop of overthinking every decision. Instead of dreaming about changing yesterday or seeing tomorrow, maybe we should focus on making today awesome. After all, this moment, right now, is the only time that actually belongs to you. And remember, folks, if someone ever claims they've invented time travel, ask them for next week's lottery numbers. When they can't deliver, you'll know they're full of it. That's all for today's reality check. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who still thinks they can build a time machine in their garage. Until next time, keep questioning everything. And if you want more myth-busting content, check out our video on why teleportation is also impossible. Spoiler alert, it involves turning you into quantum soup.